What's going on, everyone? Patent Pending Podcast.
And today we have on
Chelsa Christensen.
Chelsa.
That's what I said.
I know.
I always say Chelsa.
I was just letting them know
letting everybody
times.
else know. It's not Chelsea.
Yeah, don't send her there.
Yeah, how bad does it annoy you when people...
Victoria. Every time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think she does it on purpose to give you a hard time.
She does. Well, one of my clients the other day, her name was spelled Keila, and so I was overthinking it. I was like, it's Keila. It's Kayla.
I would have said Keila.
And I was like, oh, okay. I'm sure you just get your name butchered at every chance you get, and you have to just live with it.
Yeah.
You're like, it's Kayla. It's not. Don't overcomplicate it.
Yeah, luckily we have simple names like Sean and Mike.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense, but that's how it is.
Normal white guy names.
How was growing up with your name, Chelsa? Was it...
Yeah.
How's life being a Chelsa?
It really sucked. No, yeah, my mom did me no favors there. So every person that I meet, I mean, like, not every person, but a lot of times when I meet someone, they're like, oh, that's so pretty, or that's so cool. I've never heard that before. But as a kid, everyone's like Chelsea and just, you know what I mean? Or salsa. I got called like every weird name. Yeah.
Salsa?
Oh, they took it so many different directions.
How did you get salsa? Okay.
I don't know, man. But they just...
Kids are fucking mean.
Kids are fucking mean.
Yeah.
And so, it could just never be. And also, I have a really old German maiden name. So my name was like double weird. So my maiden name is Richwine. Richwine. So
Nice.
it's Chelsa Richwine, which is like two fucking weird names.
What's
Yeah.
your middle name?
Yes. Lynn, which is
Okay.
normal.
Yeah, you balanced it out.
Yeah.
I would rather just be like something even as weird, because why not?
Oh, you want to double down and just
Yeah.
3 weird fucking names?
Yeah.
Lynn's nice. I like Lynn.
It's like a little family
It's
name.
like elegant, but then if you really think about it, it's like Lynn.
You can call
like
it.
it's grandma's name.
It's a little bit of an old people name.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's my mom's middle name, yeah.
Yeah, my mom too.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Mine was Anne. Anne's like an old person name.
Yeah.
Or my
too.
mom's was, but yeah.
yeah.
That's my mom's middle name. I should
The
probably...
other day I met like a 25-year-old named Susan, and I had to like triple take. I said, no fucking way.
Susan Boyle?
Yeah, it was, I don't even know. It was just like, what? Yeah.
What's your middle name, Sean?
William.
William.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's
After my
It's a
grandfather.
sturdy
pretty
name.
yeah, it's a sturdy name.
Sturdy. It's got good bones.
Mine's John, but it's spelled Jon without the H.
Oh, the worst way to spell John.
Why, man?
My dad's name is spelled John, Jon.
Oh, okay.
It's like,
Your dad's name
We
is
all
John?
just do this to each other then. It makes a lot of sense.
so we're all emotionally damaged.
Our middle names are just,
Well, I think that our generation's been pretty good at cutting off the trauma that our parents endured us upon. So
Yeah.
I think that maybe all of our middle names end here.
I think so. I'm definitely...
I take a vow.
Yeah.
I'm never...
Well, I don't
doing
have any
else.
kids to give a new middle name
Same.
to, so...
Same. But if I did, it wouldn't be Lynn.
No, and I'm definitely... Yeah.
What would I name it?
And certain names you can't... Like Susan, it's not a kid's name.
No, it's not.
No, that's like...
It's
I'm
like
gonna
you're
get-
just...
Imagine
you
you're holding a
automatically...
baby and you're like, oh, Susan.
No, it
You're
doesn't...
gonna get bullied forever.
It doesn't work. Like, what a cute child. It's Susan. Like Susie?
I guess you can call her Susie. That's a cute...
You have to be called Susie
Well,
up
my mom's
until...
name is Susie, but she's always gone by Susie because she's an energetic, fun person.
Yeah.
Susan just doesn't. Susan's so serious.
Susan is like
Yeah,
40
Susan
and
works
older.
at the DMV.
Right.
or
Susan fucking hates her
or at the
job.
water district.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, Chelsa. So,
Real quick, gotta go sync. Never synced. A little rusty.
What is that?
oh, cool.
So you clap to sync the video with the audio,
Oh, okay.
just to line it up, versus trying to watch
I
your
understand.
lips.
Yeah, so...
Nerd stuff.
What do you do, Chelsa?
Yeah, Chelsea, what
We know what you do, but does the people know what you do?
I am a photographer here in Las Vegas. I shoot a little of everything. I moved here specifically to get opportunities to shoot music because that was like the dream job. And I accomplished that, which is great. But I also shoot like sports. I was shooting for the Raiders for a couple years. I actually shoot quite a bit elopements and weddings like you. I do pretty much the only thing I don't do is like families and babies. It's just not my realm, but otherwise I do pretty much everything. Yeah.
Yeah, families and babies take a...
I don't have that type of patience.
No, I don't got that.
I'll do families if it's like a friend and they ask me.
Yeah, I've done a family this year that was one person specifically. That's it.
I'm not doing randoms.
No, I used to.
How long have you been in Las Vegas?
Yeah, because where'd you come from?
I moved here from Salt Lake City in 2018. So like when I first came here in 2018, it was like April, May time. And I wasn't fully moved out. So like I still had an apartment up in Salt Lake. So I was splitting my time. And then I didn't fully move here till like October of that year.
Of 2018?
2018.
Okay.
And then
I thought you were here for a lot longer.
So I'm from Salt Lake. I'd moved a few other places and then ended up back there. But I was in a marriage/relationship for like almost 14 years.
Oh, wow.
And so we split around the end of 2017. And it was like during that time where I just decided to do like a whole life 360 where I just got rid of everything. So
oh shit, like you just sold
all of it. Yeah, and so it was kind of just like one of those moments where so I had never been single as an adult until I was 31, right? Because we started dating in high school. And so then you just like look at yourself, you're like, who am I? Like, who am I without this person?
Right.
I have no idea. I don't know. I don't even know who Chelsa is anymore because it was always Chelsa and blank.
Right.
And so it was one of
like
those.
Voldemort, like
sorta.
Who shall not be named.
No, he's actually really wonderful. We stayed friends. We're super cool. I mean, everyone in my past life knows him, but yeah. So it was like, I think of it as like I have two lives.
Yeah.
I have Salt Lake City marriage Chelsa,
Right.
and then I have Las Vegas single Chelsa. And so it was funny because everyone in Vegas, not one person knew me as that
The Salt Lake version?
wife version.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy that?
It was pretty fun.
Yeah.
You like got to reinvent yourself.
Yeah.
I was like, they don't know any of my dirt.
That's
This
awesome.
is great. But yeah, and then I went freelance photography. So when I moved here, I was doing it on the side. And just making all my connections as much as I could, networking. And this is back, like, you can attest to this, Mike, and probably you too, because you were, I think, doing freelance back then also. But the pool of photographers, even that back then, 5-6 years ago, was far more shallow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There was way more opportunities for us. So it was a little easier to grow back then.
Right.
So,
and network or find.
Yeah. So I took the leap in 2019, January, to just go freelance photography. I don't recommend other people do this. It worked out for me, but this isn't everyone's personality. I literally had $5 to my name. I'm not kidding.
Yeah,
and I went 3 months behind on all my bills. So like I was getting like notices they were gonna like take my car away.
I think it's pretty common. People just say fuck it, and I feel like all the success stories of people moving typically start with that.
Yeah. Well, I just was like, okay, I was working this like other job while I was moving here in Vegas. It was like sales.
Okay.
And I hated it so
sucks.
much. Every day I would cry.
Sales, dude.
I would cry every day. And I was just like, and I also didn't really have any money. So I was like, what am I doing, dude? And so I just said overnight, I was like, listen, we are already like, I'm already at rock bottom. Like the next step is my mom's couch at the age of 32, right?
Right.
So what do I have to lose? Really? What do I have to lose? My credit's already fucked because I moved here, honestly. Like I made a lot of bad choices moving here financially. And so I have nothing to lose by doing this. So yeah, I took a leap and I jumped. And one of my first steps was I said, if I am going to do this, though, I'm going to go after the stuff I want. So that was when I contacted Joe. And I was like, just annoying the shit out of him in his DMs.
Yeah.
You got to give me a chance, bro. You got to give me a chance. And like, I knew I was going to be terrible at nightlife because I'd never done it. I'd never walked into a Las Vegas club until my first night.
Let alone with your camera.
Right.
Yeah.
Let alone,
not with
working.
my camera, for sure. And so my first night at a Las Vegas club, my like audition, if you will, was Hakkasan with Lil Jon, and Joe was there with me. And we did these rounds, and he goes, okay, yeah, you want to catch the prezos? And I'm like, what the fuck is a prezzo?
Looking around.
Like, I had no idea they do bottle presentations. I've never seen one in my life. I was just, bloop, like, it was like a circus to me. And I'll never forget this, because now Lil Jon and I have a really great relationship. But this was the first night I'd ever shot him, and I remember him looking at me like, who's this bitch? He gave me this, like, you know,
Who's
those
this
looks.
white girl?
Yeah, you know those looks John gives where he's like... trying to figure you out. He gave me a hard one, and I like
got scared,
got really scared, and put my camera down. I was like, is he mad? But now I know that's just like him, you know?
Yeah, he's just and he's wearing sunglasses, so he's hard to read.
Does he wear sunglasses when he performs?
Always. Yeah.
Oh, really?
I don't think I've seen him without sunglasses.
You've never seen his eyes?
I've definitely seen his eyes.
But yeah.
But he always wears his sunglasses while he performs. Yeah. For sure.
So can
I was going to say, what were you doing photography in Salt Lake?
Sorta, yeah. So one of my biggest things that like we didn't really do during our marriage that until the very end that I was wanting to do like tons of was traveling. I've always been a wanderer, and we were just like a broke young couple for so many years. And so started doing more like day trips, because like living in Utah, you're so blessed with so many landscapes.
Right.
Like, it's amazing. You can drive 4 hours and you're in Mars, basically. You know, you're in Moab or whatever. And so I started doing these, like, quick overnight trips and, like, day trips all over. And I got really into, like, and this is, keep in mind, during 2015, 2016, Instagram. So travel Instagram. So it's every girl's back of her head with a waterfall. Right. And I was like, I'm going to be that girl. Right. You know?
Oh, you got sucked in.
Oh, I had a travel Instagram, and a lot of people knew me from that.
The follow me?
Yeah, of course I did. Why wouldn't I?
Yeah.
I had a travel Instagram. It was called Wayfaring Girl, because I named it after a Johnny Cash song, Wayfaring Stranger. Well, actually, I think it was someone else's song before his. But anyways.
But you got
that's what I named it after. And so I started posting all these travel things and like all these photos. And so I was that absolute stereotypical travel girl. Now I look at it and it's like a little insufferable, but whatever. And then that was when I really got into, like, I started making friends that take photos for fun when they're traveling. And
in Salt Lake.
And I'd never heard of, like, what the fuck is composition, you know? Like, I don't know any of that. Yeah. And so it got really interesting when you're like, oh, I see what you're saying. It does look better when this person's in a thirds, right? Or, like, whatever. And so it really was a hobby. And then I started taking pictures of, like, I was like, hey, maybe if you turned around instead of the back of your head, let's try that. I
could photograph maybe your face.
Yeah, let's
that
try
would be
your face.
Unique.
And then I found, like, this is so cringe to talk about. I found 2 Instagram accounts. It does. This is like 2015, keep in mind. And I'm a late bloomer with social media. So, like, it took me actually years to get onto Instagram, where everyone had already had accounts for a long time. And I found 2 specific accounts. One is a wedding photographer. I'm not going to name her because they always say don't meet your idols. And there's a reason.
Oh,
She's
really?
awful.
Oh.
But she takes beautiful photos. Oh. Second is the Dirty Boots Messy Hair account.
Oh, I'm familiar.
Do you remember when that first got big in, like, 2015? Like,
I don't remember. I don't know of it that well, but I do know of, like, the account.
It was when the really warm, brown
very boho-y,
boho wedding photos first got popular. And I saw that account and I go, what the? And I was like, that's sick, dude. So I was like, I wonder if I could do that. So I asked some, couples to, like, model for me. And man, those photos are bad. And, like, they were like, we love them, and, like, posted them, and I posted them, and people were just like, these look great, and they don't. They're bad. They're so bad. But I think that our, like, marker for, like, what was good back then is so different than even right now.
Yeah.
You know?
But you need those people, though, because those are the people that gave you confidence to continue doing it.
Yeah, so I was like, hey, I'm really good at this.
I mean, because it's also subjective in the sense of you may not. I mean, I'll still do photos now where I'm like, I'm not in love with it, but like if the client or the person is like, oh, we love these, they're great. You're like, okay, cool. It's just me overthinking.
Oh, always.
I don't
that
think I've
thing.
ever liked any photos I've ever taken.
It's so hard to like your own photos now too. Like especially the more cool things you do. You're just like even harder on yourself, and you're like, these are trash, and someone else will be like, this is fucking epic, and you're like, this is stupid.
Right.
I suck, and I deserve to die. These are horrible.
Throw my camera in the trash.
Fire me. Fire me. Yeah. So sorry that was so long-winded, but that's how I got started.
So what made you get your first camera? Was it those Instagram accounts that you saw?
Yeah.
Did you get yourself, you bought yourself your first camera?
Yeah, so sort of. So like let's backtrack. I'm still married and we're still like and I had a job at the time where I was making okay money. So I was like, I'm going to knock off one of my top 3 travel destinations in the world. And it was New Zealand. Mm-hmm. So.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Vegas. I was like, whoa.
Terrifying. And so I start planning a trip to New Zealand, and I planned like the whole thing. And like my ex-husband was pretty much just along.
I know you're pretty keen on planning
I'm
stuff,
pretty good at planning
Pretty
trips.
dialed, yeah.
So my ex-husband was really just along for the ride. He planned
Just
zero.
tell me where to
of this.
go. and
Yeah.
what time to
Yeah.
be there.
I've been there. Yep.
Yeah. And so that was when I was like, we shouldn't be going to New Zealand without a camera. Like,
Right.
Okay.
We're going to travel halfway across the world.
and I knew nothing about cameras. So we go to Costco, and first we bought a Nikon, and I took it back after a week because I hated it. I hated it so much.
Smart move.
Yeah.
And then I bought a
Hindsight's-
Canon, and I loved it immediately. The colors, the simplicity, the menu, everything. Canon's great. I would still shoot Canon to this day
Right.
if I didn't shoot like music and sports and everything. That's it. That was really the switch to Sony. Was because back when the A7 III became popular, Canon wasn't doing that. And I said,
Yeah.
I need that.
DSLR. Yeah, because that's why Sony's like 5 years ahead with the mirrorless stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
That was where I was at. So
then you took the Canon,
to New Zealand, shot on auto JPEG the whole trip, obviously. I've manipulated absolutely. I have manipulated those photos to the extent they possibly can be to this day, but they're still in JPEG.
Yeah.
So
Probably like JPEG,
it's a
like
little bit of a
medium.
shame. I will be going back at some point for sure now that I know what I'm doing. Because to this day, and I mean, I've been all over the world, and to this day, that's still my favorite place.
Really?
New Zealand?
Nothing
Wow.
beats it. The landscape, everything.
Wow.
The South Island specifically, you have every type of terrain possible. There's like jungle, there's glaciers, there's regular mountains, there's beach mountains, there's fjords. Actually, it's like
a fjord.
Yeah.
it's like a fjord and a sound are different. Like one of them's carved by like glacial water, and one of them's, I don't remember the difference, but
Oh, so it's like a river?
there's a really famous sound there. It starts with Milford Sound, and I really wanted to go there because it's beautiful, and it's actually a fjord. Whoever named it fucked up, so and they just like never changed it. But we went kayaking in Milford Sound, and it was like raining, of course, because it rains literally almost every day there. And we saw these like rare penguins, and it was like,
Oh, that's crazy. This looks crazy.
It was literally peak living, and I bungee jumped over this lake that's like glacial colors, and it's insane. I sounded like I'll never bungee jump again. I'm not scared of heights.
At least you've done it once. I have yet to.
Ooh, I don't recommend it. I would
Really?
say skydive instead.
Skydive
maybe
instead.
do one. Okay, let me put it this way. Maybe do one
It's a lot of,
bungee.
like fucking whiplash.
Do
the
one.
bungee?
It's not just that. It's I would have done a shorter bungee because we did a really long one, and you can't tell midair how long you've been falling. You have no idea. So you're positive you should have hit by now.
Right.
And you're like, the fucking rope broke.
Yeah. Oh, fuck.
And it's honestly unsettling. And even like my ex-husband, who's a helicopter pilot, and he is also not scared of heights. He's also like, he was like, that wasn't fun.
This should be springing me back by
It
now.
should have been fun, and it wasn't. Sorry, I keep kicking your white shoes.
All good.
So yeah, I mean, it was an experience for sure.
That trip made you just feel alive.
Yeah, it was amazing. And so I was like, I need more, right? And so that's what like spurred all of my traveling, and then that's what spurred more photo taking.
photography.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's a nice little mesh of travel, but also photo and then photo career and then back to travel.
So nothing makes me happier now to this day than when I get paid to travel. That's the best.
So Chelsa, what were some of the other places that you were looking at before you settled on moving to Las Vegas?
I had a job interview up in Bend, Oregon. So before my divorce and all that, I had worked for Audi for like 3 years or so. And so I went and did an interview with the Audi up in Bend. I knew someone that lived up there, so she like recommended me for it. And I stayed with her for a few days, and I was like, damn, this place is beautiful, right? It's very me. Nature, greenery, trees, all that. And then I'd had a friend who was doing the sales job down in Las Vegas. And so I came and checked that out. And so I had a decision to make, right? And I was like, go up to Oregon, fall back into maybe a little bit of safety, right? Like the adult job, all of that. Or do I move to Vegas where I could do photography freelance and check that out? So that was ultimately what it was. A little bit more, obviously a bigger risk, but I wasn't going to like pass up the opportunity that I could maybe make something fun out of my career at that point. So I decided to not go with. And also, like, for being really real, I asked like 5 different people for advice, and all the men were like, take the safe job. So I was just like, I'm going to do the opposite.
Were you not trying to do the music photography in Oregon?
I mean, I just like don't see... The market wasn't there the same way, you know?
Not
like,
as Vegas.
It would have been like the same thing as like staying in Salt Lake. Like opportunities were not anywhere close to being like in Las Vegas, somewhere that's like based around entertainment.
And you had nothing else to really lose. Like, fuck it.
Nope. Yep. I was like, also, this is like the whole year after my divorce. So I was like in very serious chronic depression. So I was also making decisions based off of like, what would make me feel even the slightest amount of happiness. Right. Yeah. Like just even just a little bit of happiness.
Oregon or Vegas.
Yeah. And I mean, I love Oregon, and I could absolutely live up there now. But at the time, thinking about like it moving somewhere that's gloomy all the time while you have depression.
Yeah, probably.
It probably wouldn't help.
I know.
I'm just going to add to it. Like, oh, look out the window. Oh, it's gray again. How nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how I'd feel about being moist all the time.
It's really not that bad up there.
Really?
Yeah, no.
I think once you get like the proper gear.
Yeah.
Once you get your
there's way more dry days in Oregon than you think there are.
Once you get your North Face jacket.
Well, yeah,
your Patagonia.
I've visited Oregon all over Portland, everything. I've visited up there several times. And I feel like out of all the times I visited, there was like one rainy day. That was it. Like there's lots of dry days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's seasons too, but like.
Yes.
Yeah, dude. When I went to Portland, the fucking spiders. Insane.
Really?
Yeah, they actually are.
Dude, they're everywhere.
I know they
these
are.
big yellow spiders.
Oh, fuck that.
Gross.
Because we went to Portland, I think it was like 2018, but I don't remember
Still not
spiders.
as bad as Australia, though.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, we went to this place, I think it's called the Grotto in Portland, Oregon. It's like in the woods.
I think I went there. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like a religious thing.
Oh.
We went there because the that famous hike, the falls.
Yes.
There was a fire, so we couldn't go. So we went there just to like check out some stuff. And there was a
spiders everywhere.
Yeah, like there was a pastor there, I think, or something, and he had a stick and he'd like was down the walkways to get the spiders are insane. I fucking hate spiders.
Yep.
It's like she's getting itchy or just
I know, I just got really itchy.
So is there anything awesome that you've shot lately that you're really proud of, or is there like any highlight gig or highlight moment in your photo career that you've done this year?
This year,
and then also we should all answer that question as well.
I agree.
Take a little bit off of Chelsa.
Yeah, take all the pressure off. This year, I have definitely focused way heavier on saying no to things just for money and yes to things that I think would actually get me the jobs I want, right?
Yeah, like
so like it's
propel you forward.
Yeah, so I have like financially this This year has been way less than the previous few years because I've taken way less work. Okay. But it was, first of all, it felt great because I like needed some time off. And then second, being more intentional with everything you do, especially the older you get and you realize how important your time and your energy is, and that just money is just not worth doing things you don't want to do. It's just not worth it. And so one cool thing that I feel like that brought me though was, so I started shooting for a live coverage about 3 years ago. The first one was Life is Beautiful.
Right.
And
that happens every year here in Vegas.
Yeah. And my homies that are on the core team, they've been with them for like 10 years. They're like, she's a local, hire her for it. And so I got on with that, and I'm just really lucky to have maintained that relationship with them. I adore shooting for them. And so this year has been a little heavier with them hiring me for things that I've gotten to travel for too, which is incredible. Yeah. So just for live coverage, travel wise, not even local Vegas stuff that they've had me do, I got to shoot Women's Final Four in Dallas.
Nice.
I got to go to the NFL Hall of Fame and shoot that.
Very cool.
I got to do the Disturbed concert in Salt Lake City, which like not my thing, but it was fucking sick. It was really fun. And what was super cool is which you know how rare this is when you have like full free reign of anywhere. So I got to go on the stage. I got to shoot from anywhere I wanted. It was crazy. That never happens.
And it was in your hometown.
And it was in my hometown. So it was
full
like
circle.
So easy. And so those are probably all of my favorite things I've gotten to do this year, just because they're like so impactful, not just on my career, but just like, I love that type of memory where I'm like, dude, I love the feeling when you're like making history, even if it's just like a little thing, you know, but like any like big events, you're making history. So
yeah, you're documenting history and what's going on. What about you, Sean? Anything memorable this year so far? Or anything that really, or any of like,
I mean, the NHL thing is
gigs?
Cool. And
Super
then
cool.
the Formula One thing was pretty cool.
What did you do for Formula One?
So I shot for the city of Las Vegas. So it was more of like ambiance coverage versus the actual race. So I wish I would have been able to actually cover the race, or like a good access to shoot the race itself, but it was more, their contract is more ambiance.
Yeah.
But it was cool still being part of the footprint of Formula One.
I don't think anybody locally that I know have shot the race.
I think Al did.
Oh,
no,
did
I think
he?
Al shot was just in the paddock shooting.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure,
celebs.
he shot for a client.
No, he was shooting for F1, but I think it was just celebs and like ambiance as well.
Yeah.
Like backstage stuff.
Yeah, because I saw him the first time we were doing.
They have their
driver
own,
events.
I think,
full
F1 has
team.
their own like team.
They have their own Getty
that
team too.
are the only ones that are, I think, allowed to actually shoot the race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Michael?
Yeah, it was a fucking mess.
It
What's
was
a-
such a
One
mess.
was fucking mess.
What's a
was such a
highlight for you?
Fuck, I don't know, man. UFC 296 was pretty cool this past weekend.
Right.
Yeah, I saw those photos. They look sick.
Yeah, I have to like do a full post this week at some point.
Right.
That was cool. I did this campaign with the Holiday Inn Express.
Oh, nice.
That was pretty cool. But like, I don't know if I can even post any of the photos. So.
As far, like you're not allowed
The
to?
worst.
Well, because like
hate
I don't know
that
if
feeling.
until they use them.
Oh, right.
We
Yeah,
did it
you
in,
always
like,
want to give.
October. So
Yeah.
like,
I have a lot of clients like that where you're not allowed to post until it gets posted itself.
yeah.
For me, there's two. There's one where it's like, the client has like their usage first, but then the other part of me, I also like to let the client or the project kind of post first before I like do anything, just to be like, okay, cool. They like.
Well, it's like the same thing with the UFC stuff. Like,
Yeah.
because it's for MGM, I have to wait for their PR to like put it out. So that's why I'm waiting. Otherwise, I would have posted it like Sunday.
Right. Yeah. When it's fresh.
Yeah. I don't really know what else that. Yeah, I'm super grateful
you've
for
done a
everything
ton
I've
of
done.
cool stuff.
I know, I can't remember.
I know. I'm the same way though.
On the spot,
When
I'm
someone's
like-
like, "What's your favorite thing you ever shot?" I suddenly have no memory of anything I've ever shot.
Yeah.
Not one.
I think UFC 296 was probably, I mean, it was the most recent one, but I remember shooting it, and like, I was like, I'm fucking crushing it. Holy shit, I'm fucking crushing
man,
it.
I love that
And I was
feeling.
like, I wanted to cry.
There's
Nice.
nothing.
to Crystal that I
That's
wanted
like
to
those
cry.
moments where you just happen to have your camera right place, right time, and you get that shot, and you're like, I swear on my life, if that isn't in focus,
Yeah.
I'm going to actually end everything right now.
Yeah.
And I always go back and check immediately because I can't stand the thought of finding out later.
Yeah, yeah.
Finding out
camera.
on the computer, you're like, oh.
Yeah, that it wasn't in focus. Yeah.
Yeah, Life is Beautiful this year was sick. That's always like a highlight of the year.
It was fun.
Oh, that Chainsmokers.
Our team was way smaller this year, but it was super fun.
That
Yeah.
Chainsmokers show in LA was pretty crazy too. That was another one that I was shooting. I was like, I'm doing horrible. I should quit. I suck.
I should quit.
And then I like edited. I was like, oh, these are fucking sick.
That's my favorite surprise is when I think that I'm hating everything and then I get to my computer and I'm like, oh, I didn't do even half as bad as I thought.
Yeah.
It's always a toss up. Yeah.
And it's not even like the work that I put out, but it's like the logistics, like the UFC stuff. Like I have to shoot all the celebrities. So I have to go find all the celebrities, ask them for a photo or shoot candids.
I was so excited
Like
when you shot Jack
running
Black.
around.
I love Jack
Yeah,
Black.
I shot. Yeah.
Oh, you shot. I saw the
Tim, Kyle, and Zach.
Because I saw the photos of the who's the country guy?
Yeah, Zach.
Zach Brown?
Is
Yeah.
it Zach Brown? Yeah.
So I got one of it was Jack Black, Kyle, so Tenacious D, and then
Oh,
Zach
right.
Brown sitting together.
Oh,
It's
nice.
pretty cool.
Nice. It's a
Yeah.
cute little
It makes me sad
combination.
though seeing Jack Black.
He's looking
Like we're all getting fucking.
He's looking a little.
God damn
He's
it.
looking a little
Let's
rough.
not talk about it.
Yeah. If you didn't know he was famous, he would just look like a fat homeless dude.
You were also at the Fountain Blue opening with me.
Oh yeah, talk about
And
that.
There was quite a bit of celebrities there, but
Yeah,
I
that was pretty
really
cool.
only saw a few that I thought were cool. One was you. I think you took his photo, Alice Cooper.
Yeah. Yep. Alice Cooper was
I was
cool.
like, that's kind of sick. Well, I don't know what he's doing here, but
Yeah.
I don't know how he got
I
this
don't know
invite.
how he got here. But and
What the
then
correlation is?
for me, another one was Lenny Kravitz, but he was really nice too, and he was very open to photos.
Oh, nice.
Because I was in the position where I was only allowed to
daughter.
take celebrity photos if they were like asking or cool with it.
Oh,
And he would like pose for them. So
Yeah.
I was like taking my
Right,
shot,
go
shooting
for
my
it.
shot. Yeah.
I feel like those situations too, like they know they're gonna
do
do it,
know.
You know.
I would like
Yeah.
to think you're like, come on, dude.
Yeah. It's not like.
Yeah, so you might as well just smile and like, hey,
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Like Aaron Paul and Bryan Cranston were like super chill. I was like, hey, can I get a quick photo? So
Yeah.
I'll leave you guys alone. They're like, cool.
I didn't even.
Done.
I was like 5 feet from the Kardashians, Kim and like
Nice.
the little Jenner one,
Yeah.
and I was like, I'm not even gonna try. I don't even.
Yeah,
First of all, I don't
that
care.
was-
Little
But
too
second,
much. I would have.
I was like-
I feel like maybe I would have tried.
Well, it was behind the DJ in the DJ booth, dark, so you would have had to pop off flash.
right.
So I was like, first of all, I'm not doing that because I'll get kicked out of this booth right now. They don't care who you're shooting for. They'll kick you out if you don't have permission, you know? And then
Yeah.
second, to be honest, I just don't care.
Yeah.
There's certain celebrities I
celebs at
don't
all.
care if I ever shoot. Yeah.
Yeah, celebs are not my thing at all.
They're not, yeah. There's some that I think are super cool. And I'm like, yeah, this is a cool photo, but that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I could care less about a lot of celebs. The only person that I ever got starstruck by was Matthew McConaughey.
God, I love him. I would do the
Yeah,
same.
I mean, I was like,
Well, and I heard
holy shit! I was like,
Yes.
that's Matthew McConaughey.
that one would start. It's same with me.
Yeah.
Honestly, what's weird is the only celebrity I've ever been starstruck by, and this is so random. I think it's just because I really wasn't expecting this guy to be there. Was in Hakkasan nightclub. It was Mark Cuban,
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
that's
and
random.
he was
You're like,
so nice. He was so
I've
nice.
heard he's nice.
So nice. And yeah, that was it. And then like there's other times like I've literally gone up to Dave Chappelle, didn't recognize him. I was like, you want a photo? Like I like asked Dave Chappelle. I'm like, yeah, you want a photo? He thinks I know who he is.
Right.
I'm just like, this is some dude. And then I realize it later when I'm editing. I'm like, that
oh,
was
son
Dave
of a
fucking
bitch.
Chappelle. Wow.
Have you ever been starstruck?
I don't think so. I don't think.
I heard at Fountain Blue, I don't think he came because I didn't see anything about it, but I heard that Leo DiCaprio was invited.
Oh, I'm sure.
That
He's kept it
one would
pretty
have
low-key.
been
Yeah.
that one would have been for me peak.
I have
Absolute.
actually seen him. I saw him at Neon Carnival.
That's
in like
where my
2016.
inner child would come out because
Yeah.
I had that motherfucker's every Teen Beat poster ever
Yeah.
Oh wow.
on my walls.
My brother actually.
I'm a
worked
little
with him.
older than you guys, so you have to keep in mind. I started watching him when I was like a child. He was on Growing Pains. Do you remember that show or no?
No.
Okay, you're young. So
No, I just didn't watch Growing Pains.
I know, but that's okay. And it was
Wait,
like
Growing
it was
Pains
like a Full
was-
House-ish.
Yeah, Growing Pains was with Al. What
Alan,
the
whatever his
yeah.
name
Okay,
is.
so say I am
Yeah.
familiar.
So that was like the first time Leonardo DiCaprio like existed in like the TV world,
right?
And he was like a homeless kid. It was actually really funny. And they like took him in, and that was like what set the bar so low for us women. We're like, I'll even take a homeless guy if he looks like that,
right?
You know? Yeah, sorry. And then of course, like after that was like Titanic and everything. And then how do you not just have a crush on that? Come on now.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a crush on.
I mean, yeah, it's fucking Leo.
Yeah.
Yes. The only movie he's ever done that gave me the ick is Wolf on Wall Street.
You didn't like that?
No, I love the movie, but he's gross in it. Like his character.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's not Leo. You know,
Right.
He's a character.
Right, but that's the only movie I've ever looked at him and been, he's
Solid-
not hot.
solid in a
Because
different way.
he's too good at his character, which is foul.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, he probably had no script for that one.
I know.
What are some of the goals that you guys have for next year?
I have not thought about that yet.
I have.
Let's hear it.
Let me start.
Rip into it.
Well, I mean, my goal for the last 5 years, which I've almost accomplished once, and then it got canceled because of COVID, is I really want to go on tour. But the older I get, though, I do realize it would have to be with someone I'm excited to shoot.
Yeah,
For sure.
Not just anyone. I don't need the experience of shooting just anyone. I've been there, done that. I've shot enough that I don't need to just do a tour just to do one.
Right, just to say you've done a tour.
Yeah, so I definitely would want it to be with a band or a musician. Shout out to all the DJs I know, but don't bring me on tour.
Yeah, I think a musician in a band is probably more our vibe.
It's so
Yeah.
much more artistic.
Yeah.
It's
more
obviously
variety each
quality
night's-
lighting is like the biggest part of that.
Yeah, the venues are going to be better because they're not like fucking little DJ.
Plus, the DJ schedule is brutal because they're like, oh, we fucking Friday morning we're playing Australia, and then Friday night we're playing fucking Vegas.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Well, because there's no like load in or load out like you do
No,
with the
they
band.
literally,
Yeah,
fucking,
they don't plan it strategically at all.
No.
So, and then another thing is, which I think I have the opposite take than a lot of people on this, which is I think people would be like, oh, shooting the same person every night would get boring. To me, that only happens when it's a DJ in a club that I've shot a billion times.
Right, because you don't have a ton of variables.
The reason it would not be boring on tour with a band or singer or someone is because when you only shoot someone once, you are so concerned with making sure you just get quality shots. That's the biggest goal, is clean quality shots, okay? Because the biggest thing you could do is fuck up by trying to be too creative. Right. I've done it. I've made that mistake. So think about it this way, though. You know you have already shot quality shots with these people, a few shows. Also, like, you have the whole show to shoot them because they have given you permission as their photographer, pretty much probably full free range to shoot whatever.
Right.
So that's where you get to have fun, is you say, now how do I make every show look different? Or how do I get, that's where you get to play around, and there's like no right or wrong at that point.
You have creative freedom, yeah. To do whatever you want to
that I think would be so
do. Then you
fun.
can also tell the story like behind the scenes. It's not just the show. The show's only one part of the entire tour.
Some of my favorite photos are like BTS. Yeah.
Because I think it also shows a different side too. Yeah, if it's like, okay, how many times am I gonna, have a concert or a set photo? It's like, but this one, they're getting off their bus or just something different. You're like, oh, cool, like they're a different, they're more than just a performer.
Yeah, and it's cool because hopefully, I mean, I'm sure that this isn't always the case because we know every celebrity is different, but hopefully they are a cool, nice, fun celebrity that lets you sort of become a trusted part of their little family.
Right.
So then you could say, hey, stop right there. This is a sick shot. Do this.
Right.
And guide them on how you want to get a photo of them. And they would comply because they trust you and they want that photo.
Right. They have that relationship with you.
They don't second guess you. They're just like, oh yeah, cool, let's do it.
Yeah. I think that would be super fun.
Do you have any artists in mind that would be awesome?
A little bucket list.
I mean, yes and no. I love like indie bands. I think indie bands are super fun. Like I've always loved like local natives. I think even anything like Ooh, why am I forgetting
Like Elton
their
John?
name?
What's it? The little piano
that was
keys?
me jogging my memory.
Oh.
Hold on, let me look in my Spotify.
That's actually a bucket list artist that I want to shoot is Elton John.
Really?
Yeah, and he's always like said he's like never doing a tour again, but that's an artist I really want to shoot before he retires fully.
Right.
Yeah.
Because didn't he have a residency here for
The Las Vegas residency.
Yeah.
And every year I feel like he's like, oh yeah, this is like
Lumineers.
the last
That's
tour.
what I was thinking of.
Oh,
that kind of
that'd be
stuff.
cool.
Yeah, or even just people like Lord Huron, or man, Mike knows how I feel about this. Hosier is one of my favorite artists, and I had to give that show up to Mike.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I was supposed to shoot it, and I was heartbroken.
Dang.
It was cool, but
Well, we
Go ahead
know,
and downplay
we know
for her.
why.
Go ahead and downplay
we know
for her.
why it
no,
wasn't.
but
cool.
he uses 2 mics,
yeah,
so he's hard. He has a mic in his face on either
and
angle.
he's so tall.
Yeah,
he's so
it's
tall.
hard.
Oh, so he's
The
hard
lighting was
to
cool,
capture.
though.
Yeah,
Yeah, from the pit at least, and I only had pit access. So, but I think if you shot,
they didn't
from
give you any front of house.
I don't know. I think I just did.
You just did it.
Dipped.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because like when you're shooting down low, he's tall.
So
He's
tall.
got the double mics, but yeah. I mean, his voice is incredible and he's beautiful, so it's like pretty easy to shoot.
Majestic.
Yeah.
Yes.
You okay over there?
No, I'm so sad. I'm so sad.
Well, next time,
I had to say, okay, so that was one of those times where you weigh your options of
Yeah, this is a
work
great example.
where, oh man, so sometimes you have to do the thing that you want to do, which would have been Hosier, right? Which would have been the thing I want to shoot and less money, but my other option was with a situation where it's more opportunities for work that I really want in the future.
It's more
And
long-term
saying it's more
beneficial.
long-term beneficial, and saying no, I just feel like that's one of those opportunities where you should say yes.
Right.
I wasn't super stoked to shoot what I was shooting that night. But it just felt like the payoff long term was better.
Smarter choice.
Yeah.
Well, that's why it's important to have like and be friends with your colleagues, because then it's just like a quick like, hey Mike, would you mind covering? I'm like, oh yeah, I got
Yeah.
you. Boom. And then it's like less stress on you to miss that gig, you know.
Actually, I was going to bring that up. Do you know what I still think about to this day?
What?
Was like when I first, like after Mike and I like sort of established a friendship. So let's talk about Mike is a little cold when you first meet him. And it's not because he's rude at all. Mike's the nicest, but it's because he's just like, I don't know.
I have this thing where like if I'm doing something,
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
So like I don't really like.
You have RBF, and that's
Yeah.
okay. It's okay. So it took
Yeah,
a
I
few
look like a
times.
fucking dick.
Yeah, it took a few times of working with you to like get you to warm up, which is fine.
Yeah.
But I remember when I was like kind of finally in like the inner circle of photographers, he would like throw me a job or like ask me if I could work or whatever, and that was when we all started doing that for each other, right? And Mike has always said the same phrase that I love and I adore. It's "we can all eat."
Yeah. So I actually got that from Dalton Campbell.
Nice.
Yeah.
He would always tell me like, yeah, there's no reason to like be a dick or standoffish to other people. There's enough work to go around. Like,
Yeah.
you know, there's enough to eat. You know,
Always.
So,
And also it's
I gotta
sort of
credit
like
Dalton for that.
it's sort of like a law of attraction thing too. I feel like when you have that scarcity mindset, less work comes your way.
Right.
When you think there's enough for us all to go around,
Yeah,
it always somehow works that way.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then not being like stressed out about giving work away, because then it, you know, for instance, that exact thing, like it was beneficial to me. I got to make some money. I got to shoot something cool.
Right.
You got to retain a client, and you also got to do something else that worked for you.
Yes.
So,
Win-win.
win indeed.
What about personal goals for this upcoming
Oh
year?
no, hold on. Wait, what about you? You got goals?
Yeah.
No, I told you
You
I
got
haven't
goals
thought
for
about
next
them
year?
yet.
You don't have a single goal for next
Not
year?
a thought.
Well, it
in
was the
his
same
head.
goal as this year that I want to shoot Lil Wayne.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah.
good. Yeah, you can carry that over.
Yeah. That's
I heard
really.
he's super cool.
I heard he's super fucking late all the time.
He's always
I
fucking late.
photographed him one time.
Yeah.
Late and cool.
Yeah, we drove to Phoenix, Arizona, middle of the year to see him, and it was cool. And then like 2 shows later, he like cut his set and like walked out, and we're
Oh, I
like,
don't
thank
like that.
God we fucking saw him when we did. Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah, I shot him at the grand opening of the Foundry in like 2000.
Oh wow, that's top of
Why does
Mandalay. Yeah.
that sound familiar?
No, so the Foundry was the music venue inside SLS. That was.
Oh,
Life
I'm thinking of
nightclub.
Foul.
Oh,
Wait, what's
do they have anything there now?
That's the Foundation room you're thinking of.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah. I don't think they. I think it's just a venue now, but they don't like market it.
I forgot that's a hotel. If I'm being completely honest.
What?
The SLS.
Well, now it's Sahara.
Now
Yeah,
it's back
but,
to
like,
Sahara.
Yeah.
I forget it exists.
I was just there. It's dead. There's
Yeah.
nobody there.
I have an event there
The
in
only
January.
time the only reason I've
CS.
ever gone there is 3 times, all for that Lenny Kravitz suite or whatever, you know what
Okay.
I'm talking about?
No.
It's like that big suite that you can like rent it out. So I've shot like a wedding reception there, and I've shot like 2 private parties there.
Oh, cool.
And it's a sick,
sick.
suite. It's so
Really?
so
I've never
sick.
heard of it.
I think Lenny Kravitz, he designed it. Don't quote me on that, but
won't.
it's really cool. I have photos I can show you from it, but that's the only time I've ever gone to that hotel is specifically for that.
That venue was super sweet. Like I shot Kid Cudi there. I shot like Method Man, Redman, Lil
Nice.
Wayne.
That's cool.
Yeah, a lot of cool bands. But I digress.
What about your goals? What do you got?
Oh damn!
What are you thinking of?
I don't really know either. Just to continue doing what I'm doing, create more longevity in my career, more financial freedom,
Right.
Yeah.
and then work with more clients that I actually want to work with. Yeah.
I would also like to figure out a way to do some type of passive income
Yeah.
as well.
That'd be nice. I'm gonna start selling feet pictures or something.
I
Right.
have already thought about that. You think I haven't thought of that? Imagine how pretty my feet photos would be. Like a photographer.
Yeah, you probably have.
I got that vision.
You got to have a little setup.
Right?
Yeah.
I have a little foot. I have
just-
little feet. They're small. And then on top of that, though, like I've got vision, you know?
Right.
I
You're
could
not just gonna
definitely-
do like top down angle. You're gonna get like
no.
creative with it.
I could
Charge premium.
imagine the sets that I could create, the little designs
Right.
that I could do.
I'm sure
My
people.
feet are at the beach today.
Yeah. I was gonna say. I'm
My
sure.
feet are in the
I'm
mountains
sure you
today.
can like find like little
Feet are in this guy's butt.
little things to put on your toes. You know, like little like a little what do you know?
I think where
glue
I'd
on
have
the glue
I
on
think where
eyes.
I'd have a hard time is when the weird requests start coming in. So people will request things from you, is what I've been
course.
told.
Yeah.
So like a man, if he requests like, hey, I want a video of you pouring honey on your feet.
Yeah.
Okay, it's gonna cost you
That
this
sounds
much.
pretty nice.
But
That's
then you
fine.
start, yeah.
No, that's totally fine. It's when
The
it
rate
gets
just went up.
weird, right?
I saw a TikTok the other day. It made sense. It was like, oh, if the internet's forever, where the fuck is my MySpace profile?
That's true. Actually, that
I
pisses
was
me
like,
off.
yeah.
One day you logged out for the last time and you had no idea.
Mm-hmm.
That's so sad. I miss MySpace so much.
But everything else is fucking on the internet forever, but except our MySpace
Everything
profiles.
You know?
Do you? Oh yeah. So you never told me if do you have any personal goals for the coming year
I have
outside
cute
of?
little personal goals. I do. So now that I'm like being way more intentional with the work I take and how much time I'm giving myself off,
Mm-hmm.
other than obviously traveling, which is always a goal of mine. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go on a few cool trips this year. But
You
other
have them
than
planned already?
I do.
Where are you going?
First one is South Africa.
Oh shit.
That's
When's that?
That will complete my top 3 countries I want to see. So it was New Zealand, Ireland, South Africa,
You
always
just
my
went
whole
to,
life.
Did you just go to Jordan as well?
Yeah, you were in Jordan.
It was so amazing.
It looked
Yeah.
amazing.
It was so amazing.
You were super close to Gaza, yeah.
The history and stuff there. Not really, no.
Oh really? Because I looked it up on the map because I was like, what the fuck?
So it's like
'Cause
it
that's when I went to Abu
It does
Dhabi.
border Israel, but like the Gaza Strip isn't close to where we
Oh.
were. And everyone was concerned about it. They were like, "You're all gonna die." I was like, "Dude, read a
wouldn't say
book."
that. Jesus
so
Christ.
read a book. So like Jordan is first of all completely separate country
Mm-hmm.
that closes its borders. It has a wonderful relationship with pretty much every country. And it's a huge ally of the U.S. It's very safe. It has a great military. Like there's like so many things that people don't think about. They just see like how close.
That's
you
what
are to
because I just looked up the map.
yeah,
I
it's
was
just
like, oh
like
shit.
fear mongering.
Yeah. My dad called me I wish I'd never told him I was going there
Right,
because
yeah, freak
he left
him
me
out.
like 5 voicemails. Don't go. And I
You're
was
like,
like,
I'm already in there, buddy.
oh man. Yeah, I will. And so I'm not actually telling him about South Africa because
Until he hears this podcast.
I don't want to fucking hear about it.
Till Pops listens to fucking whatever
So
episode
South-
this is.
South Africa, anywhere else next year you get planned already?
So I'm shooting my friend's wedding in Iceland, which I'm so
Dude, that's
excited about. So I get to go.
The volcano just erupted.
Which I've been to. I'm praying another one does. While I'm there. No, like that is such a goal of mine to shoot a volcano. Are you
Yeah, that'd be
kidding?
sick.
Yeah.
Oh, active volcanoes. That's a bucket list for sure. What I would do is I would pay for that like private plane ride that like flies over them. 100%.
Yeah.
But
Rack up a couple of feet pictures. You can make that happen.
That's what I'm saying. I've got this plan in mind,
Right?
guys. But so because I'm shooting her wedding also in the summer, I'm so excited because now I get to go back and see all of my favorite places in the light that I actually want to see them in. So I will give a warning to anyone who thinks that they want to go to Iceland in the winter. First of all, yeah, you might see the aurora, but unless your specific goal is chasing it, there's no guarantees, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you have to actually plan your trip around chasing the aurora. We did get to see it, but we were not in like a peak spot, so it wasn't super bright.
Right.
So I think my shutter to get the photos I got was like 1/25, and then I had to like brighten the intensity,
Right.
obviously, post work, but. Not that it wasn't cool, but for me, the cold, the wind, the rain, and seeing all of these incredible waterfalls just covered in snow and ice, not worth going in the winter.
Okay.
I hated it.
more of like a
If you're
spring,
like
summer thing.
if you're like the kind of person that doesn't give a shit about cold, it's really pretty. Don't get me wrong, it's like a winter wonderland, but I didn't want that. I wanted to see the luscious green waterfalls.
I'd much rather see that.
Absolutely. So I'm excited. I'm going back in the summer.
That'd be cool.
And then what I was thinking of doing, just because it's pretty well known that like flights to and from Iceland in the UK area are relatively cheap. I think I'm going to hop over to Scotland after, because I've always wanted to see Scotland. And then that next week will be my birthday also.
Oh,
so then I
nice.
could just do Scotland for my birthday.
There you
That's
go.
awesome.
Yeah. But those are the only 2 trips I have planned next year.
Those are huge trips.
And
Yeah.
then all of
Well,
my...
actually, well, I guess that'd be 3, right? Because you got South Africa, Iceland,
Yeah.
but then like the second leg of Iceland would be
Scotland.
popping over to the Scottish.
Other than that, though, I want to do like more like homey domestic stuff. So back when I was a wife, I used to cook all the time, and I feel like I don't cook anymore, like at all. And I feel like I've forgotten how to cook, in fact. So I want to get back into things like that, like getting into like a homey space where I cook. I also am just
Like have
such
friends over and make dinner.
I'm like an 80-year-old at heart too. So I love doing like arts and craft, pottery, like all that kind of stuff.
Oh,
so
knitting, knit a
Sean loves
sweater.
puzzles.
I want to get
Yeah.
back into that. I
Fucking
love
whole
puzzles too. I want to
2,000
get
piece
back into
puzzle.
all of that kind of stuff, like the wholesome shit, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
just-
I'm down with that.
I love it.
I like that stuff too. I'm not really into drinking too much anymore. Yeah, like, well, like my birthday.
Makes me feel, well, your birthday, we were all a little
Birthday wasn't that
fucking
long ago,
woo.
and yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Sean.
I still feel gross for my birthday.
Sean doesn't know how to play games, everyone.
No, fucking
Sean is bad at drinking games.
drinking games are fucking dumb.
You were thinking too hard and taking your time way too long. You just- you need
My
to just
strategy is
go,
different
go.
than others. You know,
Your strategy was to suck.
my strategy was to get fucking sucked into drinking half the goddamn table.
You suck.
Yeah, that's one way to look at it.
Is there any advice that you'd give younger Chelsa? We'll keep this brief. You don't have to go too deep.
Oh, Jesus, where do we start?
Just like, like 1 or 2 lines of just like
Yeah.
broad.
Something that you
First
wish
of all,
you knew.
never lose your authenticity.
Okay, that's a good one.
I was always really good about being very authentically myself up until my mid-20s. Somewhere along the way, I kind of lost it. I started doing things out of the sake of like
Marriage.
fitting in. And
Yeah.
no, I was already married by then. You forget I'm
saying,
from
though.
Utah. So
No,
we
I
got
know, but
married
I'm
at
saying
21.
like in a marriage, maybe you could like lose your identity.
Yeah, that
because
too.
you're married to somebody.
Right, your partner. Yeah.
You do. But it was also like peer groups that I wanted to like be friends with or fit in for outside validation, right? And I mean, even just something as simple as like my travel Instagram account, right? It was fun to me, and it was for fun, and those were things I was interested in. But the account itself was a lot for validation, right? A lot of that kind of stuff.
Right.
So
Chasing the validation.
I had to like especially after my divorce, and then especially after getting into a entire new career, freelancing, becoming your own boss, and then also being in a city like Las Vegas, which, let's be real, this place is not authentic. It is.
No.
It is the entire premise of Las Vegas is essentially to be like fast paced. Everything is replaceable or like, you know what I mean? Transactional. So it was really easy to like lose that here too. And so it took me like the last few years, that's been like my biggest goal is like just getting back to like my authentic self. So if I want to, let's say I want to post something on Instagram, you know, I don't know where along the way I got like so scared of people's opinions, but now I'm back to like the fuck you, I don't really care.
Right.
I'm just going to post it. Right. Because it doesn't matter. You could be like the coolest, sweetest, most wonderful human on earth. And if enough people see your post, someone's going to bitch about something because they hate themselves, man. They're just sitting behind their fake profile and they're just shitting on other people. And that's what they do all day because they hate their fucking life. So I've just removed that from like my thought process now, as well as like I take that into like my daily stuff too. Like everything I do all day, every day, obviously aside from like your stupid adult responsibilities that you kind of have to do, right? But again, like with work or with like play or with friends or whatever, I say, do I actually want to do this?
Right.
I stopped saying yes to the things I didn't want to do anymore. Like I always say, if I don't want to go out, I say no now.
Right. You, like you were saying, you're a lot more intentional with your time and energy.
Yeah. Because if you don't treat yourself the best of everyone you know, what relationship do you expect to be better than that?
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Very solid point. Yeah. Saying no to going out is awesome.
It's so nice sometimes, man.
Yeah, being at home.
I don't have that problem because no one hits me up to go.
I'll hit you up and then you can tell me no.
Well, you also didn't grow up here. It's like I have like friends.
Yeah.
Like, I have really close friends that like I love with all my heart that like, you know, I've known for like 15, 20 years now.
Yeah.
So those situations or...
I feel like all my like relationships are somehow coworker based.
Yes, me too.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, all your peers.
Everyone I know.
Peers in photography. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, for instance, like my birthday was all like mostly...
Most of it, yeah,
almost
literally.
all of us
there was a
were...
whole half of us that were, and we were the ones that stayed late and were loud and...
Yeah. And got after the hardest.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, what else do we have here?
I see that you shot some stuff for the Raiders. Tell us about that. How did that come about, and what was your role?
So you know how the stadium was like finished being built during COVID, right?
Yeah.
So obviously the very first season of the Raiders being here in Vegas, they didn't have any fans in the stadium.
Right.
Oh wow, I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
for a little bit, yeah.
All of football, pretty much all over the country, almost
Yeah.
no
Well, it
fans.
makes sense now that I think about it. I mean, that's how like the NBA, there was a bubble, NHL, there was a bubble.
Yeah. But before / during that, when Allegiant first got finished being built, I went and took some photos for Allegiant Stadium of some of their interior spaces. You know how they have like places in their stadium that are like the clubs and stuff where people can hang out.
Right.
Yeah, they rent
out for
out.
private events. Yeah. So I went and took all those initial interior photos.
Nice.
Super cool being in that stadium. I remember like
it's beautiful.
It's so
I've never been there yet. I mean, I'm not like
and it was
fan,
like
so.
nobody was allowed in yet except like employees and the Raiders. That was it. And I remember like looking down at the field and some of the Raiders were actually there practicing. And like at the time, I'm not into football. Like I've never really been a football girly. And so I'm just like, this is cool, whatever. I don't know a single player, whatever, whoever they are. It's like literally Derek Carr in front of me. And I'm like, cool, who's that? Right. And so I don't know how, but the Raiders director of photography, his name's Michael Clemens, and he is one of the most wonderful humans I've ever had the pleasure of working with, ever. He is a wonderful, wonderful person. And he's very on top of his job. He takes his job very seriously. I know Michael's going to listen to this and laugh because you do. So he hit me up one day, and I remember I was in Zion. I was like supposed to go hiking, and then it was like raining or whatever.
Right.
And he was like, hey, this is the director of the Raiders and the director of photography. Sorry. The DP is what we call him. And
double penetration
in the biz.
In the biz, we call him the DP.
What we call in the biz.
And so he was like, would you ever be like interested in shooting like because they do so many other like little side events.
Right.
And he's like, I actually have one today if you're available. And I was like, I'm not there. Otherwise, I absolutely would. Please hit me up for future ones. And I was like stoked. I was like, I don't know how he got my number. I don't even know how this is happening right now.
Right.
That's awesome.
And then so he started hiring me for these little events. And this is like, again, this is in between. So they're like, last season just ended. And then like the next season, you know, it's like that 6 months in between.
That gap.
So it was like, I think I started just doing this in like February of that year. And so I was like going to all these little events where they would either have like the Raiderettes, cheerleaders, the alumni, or like sometimes actual players show up. And it's community events and it's super fun and cool. You're like, I feel a little guilty getting paid for like this community work. Like,
right.
You know, like it's like volunteer shit. And I was like, I'm like sending them an invoice.
I'm not volunteering.
I'm not volunteering my time.
It just made it did make you feel a little good being there though. Just like participating. There was one in particular where we went up to, oh God, in Boulder City. If anyone has time to volunteer, please do this. It's like a veterans retirement home.
Right.
And it's, I mean, they have World War II veterans in there. Like we're talking and they get like no visitors. And I just bawled the whole time we were up there. Man. I just bawled the whole time because they were so excited to see us. Like it was the highlight. Oh my God. Anyways,
I'm just thinking you're in there
I'm just
balling.
here to guilt trip the entire
them over
audience.
And shit, playing basketball with them.
Balling.
Yeah. But yeah, so then after I'd started doing a lot of those, it was really a huge honor because he was like, hey, I'm hiring for the game day team. And I didn't have any experience at the time shooting like sports or football. So he couldn't hire me for an on-field position, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But they have other stuff. So originally he asked me if I wanted to be the Raiderettes photographer. And I really thought about it. And I was like, I think I would adore it because I think the girls are so sweet and great. But I would only adore it for about maybe up to half the season.
Right.
And it would feel repetitive after that because you're stuck with the Raiderettes all day, every day.
Them, right?
It's just them. That's all you shoot. And I was just like,
that sounds not fun.
Yeah.
I like the girls a lot. And I think that.
Well, I'm saying longevity is not
longevity
fun.
Though, no.
Anything's fun a few times.
He was like, the other option is the entertainment. So you would shoot the halftime shows. And I was like, say less.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I got to it was super, super exciting being part of the very first season of fans being in the stadium for the Raiders. And I got to shoot all of the torch lightings and the halftime shows and like just any like little celebrity things that they had going on.
Nice.
And I did that. Sorry, I keep smacking my mic. I did that for 2 seasons. Brandon. Edit that shit, Brandon. I did that for 2 seasons.
We love you, Brandon, and respect you.
We love you so
we love you, dude. If you're listening,
Brandon.
Brandon's gonna help us edit, so that's why we keep bringing up Brandon. It's not like our alter ego, I promise. But continue.
Sorry. And so, I did that for 2 seasons, and then the 3rd season. By then, I had some experience shooting some sports, shooting some players, and things like that. And so I did request or ask if there was any position for me to get on the field. There was not. So I left because it didn't feel right sticking around for a 3rd season to do the same thing I'd already been doing.
Right.
It doesn't help your portfolio or your connections because you're really essentially working with all the same people. And if I'm being very real, it's a huge commitment for very little money. Right. So sports notoriously does not pay well. And then on top of that, you have to commit to like pretty much every game of the season. Right. So I was constantly those first 2 seasons, I was turning down work on any game days. So
it was starting to,
and those games are pretty long, right? Aren't they like
it's
6
all day?
Yeah.
So we have to be there all day because we're shooting all the other stuff, sponsor stuff, everything. Right. So it just didn't feel right to stick around for a 3rd season doing the same thing. So yeah, I hit him up and I said, okay, well, we had this long phone conversation. I was very clear to him. I said, if there's ever the opportunity for me to move on to the field, for me to shoot the game, the players, that is what I want to do.
Right.
But until that happens, I
respectfully got it.
Yeah. And Michael's so great. He was like, I completely get it. He's like, I think I'd judge you if you came back for a 3rd season.
Right.
Because
I feel like
you're not growing.
Yeah, there's some respect there to be like, yeah, I'm gonna.
He gets it.
Yeah, spread my wings in that sense.
It did make me feel okay. Can I do like a little humble brag?
Yeah.
It made me feel so good that he like I was the person who always shot the halftime shows and everything, and he like couldn't he didn't trust anyone to take over my spot.
Oh,
So he didn't.
now he's doing
he
it
didn't
himself.
hire
Is he doing it himself
out,
now?
so he did it himself because he couldn't trust anyone.
That's
I was
cool.
like,
nice.
my alternative is the director
Yeah.
of photography.
You fucking you strap. Well, I don't
You know,
want to say
Michael was
strap
gonna
up,
listen
but
to this and be like blocked.
right.
I met him once, and he was very nice.
He's a very nice man.
I did the Raiders Media Day. And
He's a very
he helped me,
respectful
get
human.
That's
into
right, yeah.
the venue and stuff. He was very nice.
What I love about Michael and like people like you two and stuff like that is
I'm
that
also
you
Michael.
do
Yes.
understand. Yes, also
We have our own Michael.
What I do love about men in the industry like y'all is that you get that it is sometimes harder and a barrier to be a woman
Totally.
in media, and there's a lot more obstacles for us. We get hired less. Like even little things, like you'll notice that security is meaner to the girls, like that kind of stuff.
Is it? I thought
Always.
security would be nicer.
Nope.
Because like a
Not
dude would
unless
be like,
I,
yeah, fuck
not
this
unless I
guy.
schmooze and flirt with
Well, no,
them.
if you have
Really?
a rapport with them, they're the shit.
Yeah.
But if they don't know you, they're like,
But I mean,
Who's
I've
this
been,
bitch?
so I've watched them.
you know?
So like, I'll give you examples, and this has happened constantly, and I'm not the only woman who can attest to this. You'll watch them allow someone with the same media badge and credentials as you, a man, walk through, and they will stop you and say you're not allowed,
They'll stop and say
and they
you're not
have
allowed.
no reason, just
you're like,
that
I
you're
have-
a woman,
I have the same
and then you ask
credentials.
them what's the reason, and they say you can't come. And then you have to go and see. Then you have to take your time and go find someone who's going to tell that person
Above them to be like,
Yeah,
no,
and
they
it's
have
just
the
it gets so old, and they'll still never tell you why they did that, and you know it's that.
damn.
Because me and that man had nothing different between
Right,
us.
the same exact credential,
Yes.
badge, or sticker.
That's a pretty common thing, honestly.
I never
So
knew that.
that is one thing I love and respect about Michael with the Raiders is that he always makes it a point to make sure that like women have a place in the industry.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Is that it?
No, I wanted to ask one more that you are very versatile in your work. What is your favorite category, I guess, or genre to actually shoot? Like,
Yeah,
what's
your favorite thing to shoot?
Yeah,
Definitely
Nude people?
no.
Music, right? It's probably
Music. It's
Yeah.
music. But again, specifically concerts and shows, and like if you can work directly with an artist, those are just, it's so much more fun. It's so much more fun. Yeah. Because I mean, music, when I think about shooting music and like loving it, I'm very grateful to all the clubs that have hired me for the last 5 years, but that's not what comes to mind, you know?
Oh,
no, that's
no,
a brutal
yeah.
schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, we're all grateful, but I mean, it's not like it doesn't, arouse me.
It
No.
doesn't fill my soul,
No.
you know?
Dealing
Do I
with-
have fun? Sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Have I made some
Am I
of the
grateful
best
for the money?
connections? Absolutely.
Right.
Made so many friends that way. But that's not what like lights me up.
Yeah,
Music
it's like a means.
fucking
It's like
lights
a means,
me up.
It's like a means to an end.
Yeah.
It's just like supplementary income.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Music lights you up. Music
Yeah.
gets you aroused.
It does. I love it so much.
What about you, Sean? What's your favorite thing to shoot?
I like the sports.
Sports would be my
Yeah.
second.
'Cause
Yeah.
This is your first year with the NLL, so you're really getting
NHL.
Sorry,
You're the NLL.
You're NHL,
You're
so you're
lacrosse.
like experiencing.
Oh yeah,
all
how
this
is lacrosse?
new-
After he finishes, I need to
Oh yeah,
know.
you go. I was just I guess I don't know. I like
I'm saying
every.
it's like a whole new experience for you. It's like you love it.
Yeah, it's exciting. I do like the elopements I do in small doses.
Yeah.
Because you do have to be a very
Different person. Yeah.
Yes, you have to be
You
a
have
very.
to be prepared to be that person's. You have to. It's a big responsibility to be the person capturing their best day of their life.
Yeah, you're like a
yeah, on the
conductor of the vibe.
well, on the
Yes.
technical
Yeah,
aspect,
right?
yeah, you gotta be on point. But then personality wise, you just met them, right? And you're trying to get them comfortable. So you have to kind of be so like not bubbly, but you have to be so like outward that like you
You can't be shy. At
you
all.
yeah, exactly. You have to be
Yeah.
so outward that like if they're awkward, you're just like squashing that shit because they're focused on like
Yeah.
how good you are, like how cool you are, like to be around that they're forgetting that they are normal used to being
Yeah.
in front of the camera.
And it's also like, sorry,
No, you're
it's also just like so many things can go wrong and do go wrong, to
Yeah.
be honest. Like, I mean, especially weddings, but sometimes elopements also, where, you know, the last thing you need to add to their plate is like also the photographer sucks or is shitty or whatever. Because I mean, like I've had brides crying because this and this and this gets fucked up.
Yeah. And then
they say at the end of the night, thank you so much for being so fun and positive because you really helped me pull it together. Yeah. Like that's your job.
Yeah. Well, because I was going to say, like, you can't really have like say you're in a shitty mood or like you're having something going on personally. You can't fucking, you have to be like,
flip a switch.
Oh my
sick.
God.
This is the best day ever. Let's get after it.
You're both in happy relationships. So can I tell you?
I don't know happy.
Stop talking. I love Crystal. So can I tell you, I could do an entire podcast on this subject alone, but what it is like. Yeah, so I've chronically pretty much been single since my divorce. Like I've been in a few short relationships, and I know there's like other wedding photographers out there that can talk about this feeling when you have to show up to shoot someone's best day of their life and your heart is fucking broken. Like you just ended something, and this has happened to me a few times, and it is so hard to pretend like you're okay,
right? Or that you didn't give a fuck.
But also at the same time, not only is it like that you're like must be nice, but
congrats, asshole.
Yeah, congrats, fuckface. But it's also like the alternative of it though. The nice thing about it though is when I get that couple that is like meant to be together and my heart is hurting and then I see these two and I'm like, oh, thank God, because they're like making me believe in love.
That there's hope.
Yeah. Because I am a sensitive girlie.
So maybe instead of shooting weddings, maybe you need to like find the lane of like the divorce, especially in Vegas, like the divorce party ones.
Funerals.
No, funerals is just sad, bro. But you gotta find.
I'm such a romantic. I just wanna.
You gotta photograph like the divorce party.
I can't do that. I have done that once, and I was like, I don't.
You photographed a divorce
party.
Oh,
I was
shit.
like, I don't know if this is fun. I don't know about
You're
this.
Right, yeah. Well, if they're both happy about it.
Yeah, I mean, I was happy about mine. I was fine. But also, like, it's not fun because you're grieving a part of yourself.
Right.
So I wasn't even grieving him, honestly. Like, we were over it. But you have to grieve that part of yourself that was like, you thought you were going to be someone's wife forever, you know? Nobody goes into marriage. They're like, yeah, this will last 5 years and then I'll divorce you.
I was just talking to a friend of mine. And it was our friend that we did the airport stuff with. She's like, well, it's not really actually forever anymore. You could just always get divorced.
It's true.
Yeah.
And she's married with a kid.
And that's fine. And there's nothing wrong with that either. Marriage was, so I don't think a lot of people realize the history of marriage is that it actually, back in the day with like kings and shit, was like a 10-year contract. It wasn't.
Cool. Oh, really?
That's why like King, what's his face, had so many wives.
I don't know who King What's His Face is.
What's the one and he like beheaded one of them and like.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about?
I think so.
He's pretending.
No, I know. I just
don't know.
I'm just trying to make you. I'm just trying to.
King Henry something. I don't know. Anyways.
Oh yeah, Henry. Yeah, that rings a bell. Yep.
But yeah, that guy. But anyways, back Henry. In the day, legal marriage was it was for a contract only.
Right.
And so it was not. It was like, those are two separate things, like a marriage or relationship spiritually or relationship wise versus the contract. And the contract was supposed to be around like 10 years.
Right. Yeah. After that, you guys can.
Yeah. And so, and I honestly think that's way healthier because I don't think every relationship you're supposed to be in isn't supposed to last forever. It's supposed to have seasons. That's why like when people break up and they're like, I feel like I wasted my time. Why? You were supposed to be in that moment to learn whatever you learned and be with that person during that time, right? Mm-hmm. Now it's up to you to take that information, to take that part of yourself and to make it better or into the person you want to become or like find the relationship you want based off of that experience. People get so hung up though in the whole breakup part of it and the I wasted my time part of it that they don't take the knowledge or whatever lesson.
Not looking at glass half full.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, not everyone's supposed to. Not everyone is supposed to be in your life forever, and that's totally fine. That's what dating is. It's literally like you're on The Voice and you're auditioning for each other. You know.
Yeah.
And you're deciding, do I like this person that much?
Yeah. Yeah.
How much do I still like them after a year? And do I still like them after 5 years?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you don't. Maybe you're only a 5-year contract.
With that one person.
That one person.
The 5 years is up, bitch.
I would say.
So is Crystal going to change her mind in a couple of years when we hit 10?
She might.
She might. You guys may have a 10-year contract, like she said. King.
I
Henry.
would for sure get married again, though. Just to be clear, I loved being married.
It's not off the table.
I loved being married.
Interested.
Hey guys,
Yeah, if you're listening, this is not only.
I would love to be married again. I loved being a wife.
She likes tall,
that relationship.
bearded, dark-haired guys with tattoos, if I remember correctly.
No, Sammy Dean doesn't
You've seen me check out people, yeah.
Yeah.
You've seen me check out people where I'm like, oh, and they walk by. Yeah, that's so true.
Sweet. Well,
Yeah, there's her type. If you're listening,
if you're out there, could you just be emotionally available, please? Thank you.
Yeah.
sick. Well, I think that about wraps her up. Where can the people find you, Chelsa, so they could DM you if they're interested?
Obviously, not Chelsea, but Chelsa.
Yep.
Period. Christensen.
Okay. And
On
where is that
Instagram.
on Instagram?
Yes.
Anywhere else if they're looking to book you for stuff?
Same.
Same. Go to your
Yeah.
website. It sends you a little message.
Yeah. Man, I'm so informal.
Okay.
If someone
Just DM me if they need you.
Yeah, if someone
God, I
DMs
hate a
me,
DM.
I'll move it over to email for sure. But like, I won't like not accept the DM. You know?
Yeah, you won't. You're like, oh, that's money.
Fuck them.
I'm different.
It's like
fucking
one of the
petty.
biggest artists in the world. I'm like, why don't you email me?
I'm petty about it.
Are you?
Yeah.
But
it just
is that more
resonates.
elopements that?
No, just in general. Like I got a few the other.
Should we
but
talk about
here's-
astrology? What's your sign
here-
again?
I'm a Libra.
Oh, okay.
We're talking about
Mercury retrograde
Wow,
is
yeah, I
happening
cannot
right
say that,
now,
yeah.
and it is fucking my shit up all week. Have you
Yeah.
guys had weird shit going on?
No, Batari was talking to me about that. About the point where like the moon and the
So
star.
much weird shit is happening
He's
this
super
week.
into that.
Yeah.
I have a little bit. I feel like a little under the weather. That's about it.
That just made me.
I feel like we all
I think
got
it's 'cause I
kind of.
traveled last week.
I feel like we all got kind of sick from your party, though. I feel like I got a
I
little
mean,
sick.
we got sick because it was rad as fuck.
Yeah.
And sharing a million cups. But yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
I mean, shout out to laser tag as an adult. That shit's still fun.
Yeah, we should go. We should do that again.
Do it again. I
Can
like
I
that.
come this time?
Absolutely.
I was
Well, you
working.
didn't. You were working. Yeah, because I gave
I
you
was
the.
like, you definitely got the invite.
Yeah.
This is why Sean gave me this
That
fucking
is how it was
party to shoot, is because he's like, bitch, I'm going to
You're the
laser
reason why
tag.
she had a
Yeah,
wedding.
because your party came first, and then I got hit up, and I was like, I'm not available, and then
Yeah. He effectively kicked me out of laser tag.
I have yeah
Well, you still made it though. I'm grateful for
yeah
that.
showed up to the after party.
I almost wasn't gonna.
Yeah.
I know.
But I always listen to like my gut and my instincts. I'm like, you're gonna have fun.
Yeah, you should pop
You'll
in.
have
It was
fun.
fun.
Yeah, it was good. It was good people.
Yeah.
It was all people you knew. It
was
wasn't
all
like
people.
a bunch of randoms.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I think that's about it.
Nice. Go team.
Bye.
Bye.